It began in a small house with a handful of people meeting in a Budapest suburb. The year was 1979. What was it like to be a pastor of this small underground church?
It was extremely difficult. We were in the middle of the communist dictatorship in Hungary. Young people started coming to the house, and the Spirit of God was moving in a mighty way, and this raised the eyebrows of the authorities.
Organized religion in Hungary was banned by the state, and so believers like Nemet Sándor were forced underground. How was Christianity viewed by the communists?
Christians were considered subhuman, second-class citizens. Many times the communist police tried to destroy the house. They wanted to bulldoze the place. The whole church was deemed a dead-end street of history.
30 years later, that small underground house fellowship has transformed into this mega church called Faith Church. 50,000 strong, with some 250 Faith Church branches meeting every Sunday across Hungary. Did you ever dream, did you ever think that you would be here today where you are?
I never imagined this, and all I can say is that this is a miracle.
On a recent Sunday morning, CBN News arrived at the church around 8:30, only to find a sea of humanity already making their way to Faith Church on the outskirts of Budapest. It was bumper-to-bumper traffic. The service officially starts at 10, but by 9, thousands had already lined up inside waiting for the doors to open. By 10:30, the main hall was packed and the band was just getting started. The balconies were full, and so too the overflow area. The people came from rural villages and faraway towns to be part of what Pastor Nemeth believes are winds of change blowing through this former communist nation.
I want Hungary and the neighboring countries to experience a true and genuine relationship with Jesus Christ. I want people to know the God of the Bible and to become born-again Christians.
Pastor Nemeth says there's not a Sunday that goes by without people walking forward to accept Christ or to receive healing.
I was on the verge of suicide, but God rescued me. I found a place of restoration here at Faith Church.
Many we interviewed spoke about what God had done for them through Pastor Nemeth's ministry. Take the Sava family, for instance.
The Sava name, they were terrified. There was fear because we were notorious.
The Sava brothers were once Hungary's most notorious crime family. Today, with the help of the church's prison ministry, many Sava family members have become born-again Christians.
Since our repentance, when people say the name Sava, they're not scared anymore. That's because we have all changed, and God is doing a new thing in our lives.
On any given Sunday, you'll find prominent politicians, famous Hungarian artists, Messianic Jews, wealthy stockbrokers, and people from all other walks of life worshiping together. In 2001, Nemeth went live on Hungarian television, broadcasting the weekly Sunday service across the country.
And this is having a tremendous impact on the society. We get so many positive letters from people who say their perception of Christianity has changed since we started broadcasting the Sunday service.
And when he's not preaching, Nemeth is busy writing books, overseeing a political newspaper, or helping his wife run the church's own elementary and secondary schools. He is currently drawing up plans for a new Christian university. Absolutely stunning pictures of Budapest on all these postcards, but also a stark reminder of the impact that 40 years of communism has had on this nation. Pastor Nemeth speaks of a spirit of cynicism as well as mistrust that's pervasive across this country.
Communism destroyed our system of values. Families were disrupted. Friendships were destroyed. The extensive network of secret spies forced people not to trust each other. What we are trying to do is to change all that. We want people to know there is freedom and forgiveness in the message of the gospel. We want to set people free from the past.
But the past continues to trouble the church. Do you have spies in your congregation?
Well, where the work of God is present, there are spies. There are always informers, those who watch from the sidelines. I cannot imagine it any other way, especially here in this region. But I don't care if they are here. I just want them not to lie, but to tell the truth.
The church has been repeatedly investigated by the Hungarian Internal Revenue Service, but has found no financial wrongdoing.
Jesus was also under inspection, so we also had to get used to such scrutiny. But nothing is going to stop us from preaching the message of Jesus Christ.
It's 4 p.m., some 6 hours after the service began, and Pastor Nemeth is finally bringing the service to a close. On this Sunday, he urges his members to dedicate themselves to changing the spiritual landscape of their nation, with the hope that one day the message of Jesus Christ will be heard throughout the land.
We want to see Hungary come out of its economic and moral crisis. In the future, we want to see committed Christians take up positions of influence so that they can help their fellow men and change the society.
George Thomas, CBN News, Budapest, Hungary.